Hey everyone, I see there's lots of people here. Hi, how are you? Thanks for waiting for me. This is the November Trance-Channeling event. I am Rachel Chamness at soundwavesheal.com, and I am trance-channeling for you all of my spirit guides this week. Well, not all of them, all of my most important spirit guides. So this event where I'm trance-channeling every day, I'll be trance-channeling a different being. They are all part of my spirit team, my most important spirit team. So your most important spirit team and my most important spirit team are the same. It is called the Inner Band. The Inner Band. Maybe I should put that on the screen. Inner Band Spirit Guides. And if you haven't been seeing these lives, of course you can watch yesterday's and the day before in replay, and they're both just 20 minutes long. And you need to know what, hi everybody, what inner band spirit guides are. They are your closest spirit guides. They're the ones that have been with you since birth. You have 5 different places, plus there's another spirit guide that I love to explore with the inner spirit guide, with the inner band spirit guides, which is the Gatekeeper. So today I'm going to be trance-channeling both my protector guide and my gatekeeper guide so that I can show you how I use my most important spirit guides every day. And you can too. I have a free spirit guide masterclass, an entire bundle. It's kind of like a get to know me bundle, understand what I do in my membership, all that sort of stuff right here. It's free, and you get the spirit guide masterclass. I'll teach you all about these inner band guides, and they'll teach you how to have boundaries with spirit and how to communicate with them better. And then there's all kinds of meditations and extra things, including a unicorn attunement, which you'll love. Hey everyone. So I'm so glad to see you all commenting in all the places. I'm live in several places, so if you're like, what is she talking about? Is this a replay? No, I'm just live in 5 places. So thank you all for coming. So this is free, and I totally recommend it. It is just a get to know me sort of freebie. And then this week is the November Trance-Channeling event, and I'm Rachel Chamness. I'm a shamanic channel mentor at soundwavesheal.com. So the inner band spirit guides that I'm channeling for you this week, today I'm doing 2. So today's like my big live day. So I'll be doing 2 today. Both the I'll be doing my protector guide. His name is Crouching Bear, and then my gatekeeper guide, she is a bug fairy named Ephramalia, and I hardly ever channel her for anyone, just for my class. I do have a trance channeling class. I actually have a signature class, which is everything that I teach basically in trance channeling in higher dimensions, bringing through any kind of being of light. But I also have a regular trance-channeling level 1, and this is for beginners who meet certain criteria, and also advanced people as well. If you don't know how to trance-channel, or you want to know how to do it safely and get a lot of feedback, one-to-one help, support of a small group, that's what the Tag Trance-Channeling Mediumship class is all about. And it is on sale for Black Friday. I have both a beginner package that's like 50% off, all the beginner stuff you'll need to be advanced in just a few months. And this package is my 6-month class of trance channeling, which I teach in 6 months, not a weekend, because I want to make sure that this is not something you do in a weekend and can never do again. There's a lot that goes on with trance channeling. You have to understand discernment and safety and all of that. So I walk you through it. I help you open your clairs more so that you can get more. There's a whole lot that goes with it. It's not every day or anything like that. It's twice a month plus your practice. So it's not like going to take up your entire life. You have time to do it. If you want to learn to trance channel, then please reach out to me and let's make sure that the class will work for you, because I don't let you in unless I'm sure that it's going to work for you. And if I don't think it'll work for you yet, I have other solutions. So feel free to reach out and invest in yourself to learn how to do this, because I think it's really important. Okay, that's enough of that. But anyway, yeah, there's huge Black Friday specials, so check them out. So today, let's start with the Protector Guide. So what does the Protector Guide do? What do you think it does? Can you guess? Our protector guide protects us. And I know your question. You're already saying, but then if I have a protector guide, I must not have one because I had this entity or this happened or all these terrible things happened to me in my life. How could I possibly have a protector guide? Okay, so there's a whole thing there. It's the same thing as like your guardian angel. A lot of things that your protector guide does is kind of attributed to, oh, must have been my guardian angel. Your protector guide protects you so much, and when they do, you cannot see it because you were protected from it. Or you think, how did I get out of that car accident alive and with barely a scratch? That happened to me, you know. How in the world did that happen? Well, protector guide or angels, you know. I felt both on that day. But your protector guide cannot protect you from the things that you put in motion for yourself. You have soul contracts with people who have hurt you in this life because on the other side, they are people who love you. And they're like, I love you so much, I'll come and be hated by you and do this horrible thing to you so that you can grow and learn. It is a place for you to learn. So we put these things in place for us, you know, this bad thing's going to happen. And all these things are going to help me wake up, you know, and understand and learn to deal through tragedy. If we had a perfect life, we would not be able to handle anything. We wouldn't. We have to have these things happen so that we can grow. And it's the same, you know, it's this thing to remind ourselves when we're parents. It's like we can't protect our kids from everything because all those little things help them grow. You know, sometimes like the funniest comedian you know was picked on by everybody, right? But they learned to have that caustic personality that's so funny because of that, you know, and they've built this beautiful life for themselves and they're so funny and you love them and it never would have happened, you know, if they hadn't been picked on. So that's a small example, but there are many, many things, you know. Okay, so your protector guide's always there. They can't prevent you from the things you put in place for yourself before you came into this life, and we all did. We all put things, you know, to learn more. So that they cannot do, but they can protect you from all kinds of things. Let's say I know this has happened to you. You're like walking in the city and you look and you get this like feeling like that alley, like I'm not even going to look in that alley. Like I can just feel that that's bad. I'm just going to walk really fast. That's your protector guide going, woo, or leave now. Or like, have you ever just had this like sudden feeling and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to do, I don't know why, but I got to go, you know, and you just don't know. And sometimes, have you ever lost your keys for like an hour and you're like, this is ridiculous, I'm so late. And then you find out there was like a huge accident, and had you been on time, I mean, people with 9/11, you know, this is like a huge thing. Lots of people were late that day, didn't make it there. You know, a lot of that stuff happens. So I have chills. This is your protector guide. So my protector guide and your protector guide will be sometimes, okay, again, I'm going to say like yesterday, I don't believe in rules. I was taught lots of rules, but I don't believe in them. After teaching over like 150 people how to trance-channel, I know that there are no rules. And we come from all over the galaxy. Our spirits here, this is just one life. All of you are starseeds. I mean, it is very, very rare that your first life was in Earth. I mean, it could happen. Sure, you could be your first life on Earth and you've just been here forever and ever and ever, but you are still an old soul, you know. So we come from all over, and even a starseed designation is not really a thing because all we are is source, however you want to think of the universe, one big light, one big thought who said, hey, let's go see what different personalities and different lives feel like. So we go out and we become an angel, we become, you know, this kind of guy, this kind of being, and then we're like, hey, let's go to Earth. Great idea. But no, we're really here for a reason, and we're here at a wonderful time. We won the lottery to come here at this time. So there's my spiel. But anyway, about the protector guide, mine is, first he showed himself to me as a bear, which all of them kind of showed themselves to me as an animal at first because I was a little nervous. And then once he upgraded to a higher version of himself, which they do, and I have a blog post about that if you want to learn how to upgrade your guides. But you can just intend or ask that they be upgraded. And he showed up as a Native American. Okay, so I do have Native American blood, but I really thought it was more than it is. My kids all into Ancestry. It's apparently I'm only like 0.03 Cherokee, so not as much as I thought. But it turns out that in the early or the late 1800s, people used to pretend that they had Native American ancestry because it was cool to do. And then I guess their kids believed them. So a lot of people in America think that they have more Native American ancestry than they do. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, whatever. So, but I do have some. So mine showed up as a Native American. Sometimes if you're like Scottish, you might get a Viking. You could get like, you just get some sort of strong-mannered, you know, being. You could get a giant, elemental giant. You could get some sort of, you know, starseed being. It doesn't matter, but you're going to get someone who feels very protective. Now, I've had people get like little fairies too. So again, it doesn't matter. Like a little fairy with a big punch, you know? These protector guides, you know, they don't have to be strong, but they sometimes show themselves to us in that way. Okay, so let me trance channel. So my bear, eventually he showed up as like a Native American dude. And then we did have lives together before in the past, like all of my guides, all of your guides, you've had lives with them in the past. So your protector guide is protecting you. How do I use my protector guide? Mostly I use my protector guide where he just tells me like, don't go here, don't go there. This is not really a guide that I often use for helping others. Like I might use some of my other guides for that. Like my doctor teacher or my master teacher. I did bring forth my doctor teacher yesterday, but you know, he is helpful. So let's just bring him in and I'll trance channel him for you. Okay. Well, I talked a lot. Sorry. This one might be more like 30 minutes. I'll talk faster next one. I am Bear. You may call me Bear. I am a protector guide for this one. I see many of you and your protector guides, and we know each other. You will find that when you find a spirit team, you will find that parts of your spirit team are connected or know other people that you know. Your guides know each other. And that is true. For those of you on the same trajectory as this one, you will have some time where your guides will meet each other, perhaps in a session or a class, or perhaps in a membership or a live like this one. But that is here nor there. I've come to say that your protection is something that your protector guide takes very seriously, and you are protected by so much that you do not see. Sometimes if you need to learn a lesson, we will allow something into your field for you to learn from that and grow and move forward. That is part of the learning. So if you believe that your protector guide isn't working very well, then you must be going through some learning at this time. And this is very common, and it can help to get outside views and help and to share with others to get through this hard time if it is happening. And you may feel that your protector guide doesn't talk to you very often, even if you know who they are. We are busy at this time. There is a lot going on Earth, and often we aren't big talkers. Your guides fulfill many duties for you. Though this one, Rachel, speaks that some are useful to help others with, they could be a different guide for you. For it all depends on what you do. If you are a security guard, for instance, or you are in charge of other people's security, perhaps at some time, maybe not always, but sometimes, then your protector guide is a very helpful being that helps you and others. And there are other times as well, but I'll wrap this up. I'd like to give you a healing for really feeling your protector guide and feeling that connection, for feeling protection around you, for knowing that it's there, for once that you know that it's there, you can put your mind to it and increase your belief. And the more that you allow this spirituality and these beliefs into your heart, the more you will open in the psychic senses and your growth into new earth. This is Rachel. Okay. He doesn't talk very much very often, so I feel like the first part was kind of, I was like, what are you trying to say? That's probably the most I've heard him talk. So yes, your protector guide will protect you, and that is an interesting point. Okay, so who I think that, you know, what kind of guides so when I first learned to trans-channel my guides, they came through and helped me a lot. I talked about that yesterday. And then I used them to help other people in my sessions at first until I learned to speak with all kinds of guides. So I have students who do that now, who have learned trance-channeling with their guides. It's very safe to learn trance-channeling with your guides because your spirit guides are part of you. And what he was talking about was that I think he was looking for the word, what I couldn't think of it either. He's looking in my brain and I couldn't think of the word. It was your soul family. And so in your soul family, your guides will know each other. And there's some soul family on today. I see some people from Tag. And so I think that's who he's talking about, or who are watching replay in the future, that our guides know each other, you know. And when I do a class, my classes are only like six to seven people. Some maybe sometimes 8 depending, but mostly 6 or 7 people. And it's always that the guides know each other. People really find a lot of soul family in the classes. It's really interesting how that you get put together. And I do see protector guides sometimes, you know, they allow entities in your field or a hard time, and that will show you what you need to learn and may lead you to someone. Like one time I had a horrible time with attack, spiritual attack, worse than ever. And it was really making me crazy because I was like, I don't even, like, why? You know, this is not something that I usually have a problem with. And I teach people protection. So what is happening? It's about 4 years ago. And so it forced me to go and get help. I mean, not that I don't have sessions with people. I do. I really believe that we all need to have sessions with each other. It's very important to upkeep our own spiritual field with a view from outside of ourselves, especially if you work on lots of people. And I work on hundreds of people. So I really need to, you know, be very conscious of that. And I do, and I recommend it. So I actually went to Steve Nobel, and he helped me figure out what was happening and what was allowing it. And I was able to clear it and learn from that, and also teach a lot of techniques that I learned that day and through that experience. So it was important. And these techniques are techniques that I find very, very important. I see it happen all the time. You can be a spiritual, you know, doing lots of spiritual work, but full-time spiritual entrepreneur, and then suddenly you have this time where you just are attacked and you don't know what to do. That's very common, and it usually has a few there's a few things you can do. There's a lot that you need to learn at that level. That's why I teach a lot of different kinds of safety protection at each level, and then eventually you get to a point where protection is a whole other thing, where you can really you know, kind of loosen up with, you know, having to do all the protective things because you are divinely always protected, and you can truly believe in that, but that's a little more advanced. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do 2 today because I wanted to do 5 of these instead of 6. So today I'm doing 2. So the Gatekeeper guide. So who's your Gatekeeper guide? Your gatekeeper guide is the guide who stands in front of the metaphysical gate. So you have a metaphysical gate, and behind that are all the spirit or, beings of light or, ancestors or whoever of your clients and you who want to talk to you. And so your gatekeeper holds the gate, and your joy guide that I talked about on Tuesday is your bouncer. So your joy guide goes back there and makes sure, no, not you, you're okay, get in line, and he puts them in line. Well, mine's a he. So the gatekeeper is just in charge of holding that gate for you. And so I actually don't channel her that often, except for in class. Her name is Ephramalia. She's a white bug fairy. She looks like I think like a dragonfly. She's hard to see because I only see her as like white light. So I bring her through usually just for practice, for my practice class, because she just helps me really. But I thought I would bring her through so you could understand, and maybe she'll tell you a little bit about your gatekeeper guide. So learning about your gatekeeper guide can really help you, because if you had a question about what was something about behind the gate, or if there was someone behind the gate that you wanted to talk to, like my gatekeeper is who I check with when I'm like, hey, before I come live, I'm like, hey, is Bear here? Yes. Or if I'm like tomorrow, I think what's tomorrow? Master Teacher, whoever I'm channeling tomorrow. No, tomorrow's the Alchemist healer. So, tomorrow I'll be like, is Ephram here? Who's also Elvin. Their names are similar, which is interesting. Yes, he's here, for tomorrow. Or like if I'm going to do a session for someone who wants to talk to their past loved one, I always ask ahead of time, is so-and-so going to be here? Can she be here? Will you come? And then she says yes. And I'm using my gatekeeper for that. So let me trance-channel this fairy, Ephramalia. See, these are two non-talkers. That's why I put them together. We'll see what she says. Hello, I'm Ephramalia. Your gatekeeper is a very important part of your team, and it is important to know your gatekeeper, for if you need assistance, we can help. We can give you information to help you with any problems with your gate. We hold the gate clear, and if there is interference by another guide who wishes for you to learn, then that will be something you can ask us. We can let you know which guide to speak with, and we can help you know who will be coming to your sessions or who is available for you to channel. Perhaps you wish to channel a goddess or an angel or another fae or other being. Well, then you can ask the gatekeeper to arrange this for you. And so we are very helpful in that way. Okay, I knew it was going to be short. She's not going to say much. Do you guys have any questions about any of this? Is there anything you'd like to know? I'd be happy to answer a few questions before I go. So tomorrow will be my Alchemist elf, and that is the healer elf. So a healing from him tomorrow for sure. Ephramalia is not going to give a healing, she says. So yeah, your protector guide, really important. And I don't see any comments right now, so I don't know if it's just not working, because I can see that there are a lot of people on. But the protector guide's really important, and so is your, oh, look, here's one. It is working. So is your gatekeeper. So can a guide take on more than one role? They can. So in some ways, your guides will do different things. Like, for instance, your joy guide sometimes protects you. Different guides can do like they all kind of do a little bit of protection. But you know, their main role. Like your joy guide is like joyful, reminding you to be joyful, but also helping you is your messenger. So like they all do different things, but they all sometimes come into like protection or, you know, what's your light path, like that. They help with that too a lot. So yeah, but you have so many guides. So those are just the 6 main guides, the ones that I'm talking about this week. 5 are your inner band and then your gatekeeper, but then you have lots of outer bands of guides, and you have temporary guides. You have all different kinds of guides. And so you can always get more. And then sometimes people have 2. So sometimes if someone's joy guide is not very joyful, you might ask for a second one or find out what's happening there to clear that or to upgrade them to a more joyful guide. And you know, you can have like 2 master teachers. You can actually have 2 of any. I have a second joy guide. She doesn't ever talk. I feel like she's the joy guide of my joy guide. She's like a little fairy. She's so cute. And she's like my polar bear's joy guide, I feel like. But she's like around. She doesn't talk, but I see her. She hardly ever talks. Maybe a few times. And then like, but for protector guide, you usually have 1. But, you know, for your gatekeeper, I actually have seen people with more than 1 gate. So I don't know what's happening there if they have another life. I'm seeing another life in another parallel life. I once saw someone with 2 gates, and one was totally different. It was like a water gate. And so it looked to me like that was sort of another life somewhere else, concurrent life, you know, because this is just part of our soul here in this life. So we can have concurrent lives, and we also have like parallel lives, future lives, past lives, you know. It's all those things that we need to take into consideration when we do sessions and things like that. Okay, well, if you don't have any more questions, I hope you'll see me tomorrow. I'll be bringing at 10 o'clock, same time tomorrow. My Alchemist guide is an elf. His name's Ephram, which I know when I met him, I was like, wait, why is your name Ephram? Are you related to Ephramalia? And he was like, no. I was like, okay. Or maybe they are a little bit, but not, I mean, because they're fae, but that's about it. But he was like, no, it's not like that. So you just can never guess what your guides' names are. And then I'll be channeling Archangel Ariel on Saturday. She's my master teacher. And I'll be telling you all about all those as well. But of course, you can learn about them too in the Spirit Guide Masterclass. I hope you'll sign up and get your get some help from that. And then, of course, if you join 5D Daily Spiritual Healers and Higher Dimensions, that's my Facebook group. And it's for those who are interested in being healers and oracles and those who are. So we have lots of advanced people in there. And we also have people who are beginners, and then we have people who are just interested. So if you want to join that, you can. There's also there's a ton of stuff in the group guides there to teach you how to channel. And that should help you too. So, and I have lots of free stuff everywhere. So Kathy, don't understand the gatekeeper role. Oh, there's I didn't see that before. The gatekeeper role, so the metaphysical gate is your psychic channeling. So all the beings who want to come through you for psychic channeling, whether it's written or giving you messages or giving messages to other people, your gatekeeper holds the gate, meaning that she doesn't let them through. She doesn't let them come all into your life all at once and cause chaos. So if that's ever happening, then that's more about spiritual boundaries, because she holds that gate, meaning that they cannot come in until it's time. Sorry if I didn't describe that well. And when you want to channel someone, or when you call for a message, then she will take someone and allow them to bring the message through. Otherwise, it would be chaos. So that's why you have a gatekeeper. Yeah, sorry, they both just came through at the same time, Kathy. I don't know why. Okay, you're so welcome. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. See you tomorrow. Bye.